Well, good morning, everyone. Pastor Al here. Thanks for joining me this morning. I got to tell you a little strange story happened to me the other day. I was in Bi-Mart, the store here in town, and it was kind of at night, and I was walking out the door after I made my purchase, and there was somebody in there from another register who was getting their stuff ready to go. I noticed he had a dog with him, which you're not really supposed to, but what the heck. And as I went out the sliding door, well, the guy hadn't got his stuff together yet, but the dog walked out with me. And walked out with me right to the edge of the parking lot there. And then the door closed. And I thought, well, I don't want to just leave this dog out here in case he wanders out in the parking lot. I'll sit here and hang out with the dog until the owner comes out. And so I knelt down and I called the dog over to me. And he was very friendly. He came over and said hello. And I gave him a pet and I gave him a scratch. And then I noticed something that I would have thought I would have noticed right away, but I didn't. He only had 3 legs. He was missing one of his front legs. And he seemed to handle it so seamlessly. And he was so happy, I didn't even notice it at first. What I've discovered is that not only do dogs do pretty darn good with only 3 legs, but there are some people that really seem to prefer dogs that have only 3 legs. Watch this little video here and watch how well these dogs do in it.
If it wasn't for her, we wouldn't be here.
Yeah, she was the glow.
Yeah.
Definitely the glow.
After DC, I was like, I don't know if I could get another dog. Everything was inspired by this. You can tell that they've been through, a lot, and they still love life and are and stuff. I think there's no such thing as disabled. I don't think so.
Absolutely not. If they do, they don't care.
Never in my life did I ever expect this is where we would be at. Wouldn't have it any other way.
Now, the truth is, I've heard this before, that dogs, if they lose a leg, they do pretty good generally, fronts or backs. Now, I got to say, if I ever lost a leg, I think I'd be pretty bummed about it. I kind of think that it must make a lot of things harder for them. Maybe some of them still have some phantom pain where the limbs were. But by and large, these dogs just kind of go with it. And they seem to live perfectly wonderful, healthy, happy, enjoyable life. And it reminded me of something that we need to learn, is that, our lives are not going to be perfect. When we're kids, our parents try to do everything they possibly can to make sure that no pain or hard things come into our life, but they do. When you get older, hard things happen. And back in the Bible, people often call this suffering or trials. Hard things come into your life that, they're just going to be there and they're not probably going to go away. And the reality is we can let them dominate our life. We can let them crush us. Or we can learn to live with them and go on and lead a pretty darn good life. These dogs don't seem to be burdened by the fact that they've only got 3 legs. They're pretty darn happy. And I think if we just learn that sometimes when we face hard things in our life, hard things that sometimes just won't ever go away, we just have to be like these dogs and say, okay, I guess I'm going to make do with 3 legs and I'm going to live a happy life. I don't know what things are going to come into your life. They come into everybody's life that make life a little hard or make things not as perfect. And the reality is that because we know that God loves us and cares for us. We know that God has suffered alongside of us. And, when he came to earth to love us in Jesus Christ, he went through some pretty tough things too. So he knows what it's like to suffer. He knows what it's like to hurt or to be disappointed. If God could do it, well then, he gives us a great example of how we can do it. And, well, even if we don't really understand how God was able to do it, maybe we can understand how a dog was able to do it. So when tough things come along, friend, don't let them crush you. Don't let them ruin you. Don't let them dominate your life. Just start hopping along, and you're going to be just fine. Take care, kids. Bye-bye.